Getting started with HTML5 charts in JasperReports and JasperSoft Studio. Part 6, Hidden Measures. In our previous video, we've learned more about how the hyperlinks are being set up on the background and what's advanced properties and how to use them. So in this video, let's expand our requirements a bit and introduce new elements to the chart and see how we can use the advanced properties in those cases. Let's begin by adding a new series to the chart on the series level. So we would want to show a number of orders for each country for each year that the orders were placed. So to do that, we will add a new series, let's call it year, and give it an expression of year, which is a built-in JasperSoft Studio function. As you can see, it turned me straight for this here, and it returns the year of a given date. Let's select a date, and we will select the date, order date. Let's press finish, let's press OK, let's press OK here, and go here to the preview. As you can see, our chart now has 3 columns per category, and each of these 3 columns is still a hyperlink. But every time we click on this hyperlink, it's the same for all other. So we click here, we just get info about Brazil, but if we click on Brazil 1996, we still get Brazil. So let's say we want to change our requirement a bit, and then when we click on Brazil 1997, it would do a Brazil 1997 search here. So how would we do that? Let's go back to the studio and let's edit our chart again. In our previous video, we've learned that our hyperlink reference is comes from the bucket property, from the property that was defined here on this level. So logically speaking, we could try to expand this and add the search term here. So let's see how it works. So now you see that we are clicking on, say, Brazil 1996, and we get Brazil 1996. It was really good. This is what we want. But let's try other stuff, and let's click on Brazil 1997, and it's still Brazil 1996. So what's wrong? Well, the way this expression is evaluated, as I mentioned before, is that it's only being evaluated when the category changes. So when the country value changes, this expression is reevaluated. And at the time when this expression is evaluated, the order date will be always 1996, year for the order date, because that's the first value that's in the group. This doesn't get reevaluated when the order date gets reevaluated, when the order date changes. So let's take the same expression and maybe put it here on this level, and then use the property link and property expression like this. And let's go here, change the hyperlink reference, and change it to year.link. And let's do a chart preview now and see what we get. So now let's try to click here on Brazil 1998. So here we actually get USA, but the year is correct. And this happened, and here we get UK, and the year is incorrect. This happens for the same reason as it happened previously, that the series is evaluated differently from the category. When the series group changes, the country value can be different, and when the country group changes, the year value can be different. So how would we go about this? Let's take a look. Logically speaking, the only time when this expression will return us what we want, so both correct country and the year, will be when it's being printed as a measure. So this measure is printed every time the series year changes, and these go through, reiterate every time that the categories change. So category is our top group, this is the subgroup, and for each member of the subgroup we print a new measure. So one would say we could maybe try using this expression and use it here as an expression. Let's check it out and see what we get. And this third attempt, so let's take a look. Let's see, we are gonna click on Brazil 1996, and we get USA 1998, not even close to what we want. Why does this happen like this? So this expression here that we have defined in the hyperlink reference, this expression is evaluated when the report went through the whole data set. So the chart is aggregating and bucketing the values as the chart is being printed. So it goes through the data set and does the aggregation. But this expression is evaluated, these values are evaluated when the chart has gone through the whole data set. So this is not something that's very useful to us, because it's going to give us the last values that it encountered, which were coincidentally USA 1998. So what is our other option? And our other option would be to create another measure and pass the measure value through here. But we do not want to print the measure. We do not want to print any text, and how would we even print it on a chart? So this is where the small feature of hidden measures come into play. Let's add a new measure and give it some arbitrary name. I'll call it hidden measure just for clarity, and I'll mark it as hidden. As you can see in the tooltip, hidden measures are not included in the final chart, but they can be used to provide values to other measures, and that's exactly what we are looking for. So let's change the label expression. Since this hidden measure will not be printed, it doesn't matter what the label expression is, but we will just keep it empty. The only thing that's interesting to us is calculation, value expression, and value class name. So this expression that we had here is, as we concluded previously, is going to evaluate correctly on the measure level. So let's paste it here, and since this is a text, we do not need to do any calculations or anything on it, so we'll leave the calculation as nothing. And nothing is generally the go-to calculation where you just want to store expression values and then pass them to other measures. And since this expression evaluates the string, we need to use an appropriate type here, so we didn't get a type mismatch error. Now let's get back to our number of orders, and let's go to advanced properties and finally use the measure value here. As you can see, we can pass the hidden measure. Let's press OK, let's press OK, press OK, and do a chart preview. Let's go to the browser to check this out, and let's see. So here we have Brazil 1996, and we should click on Get Brazil 1996. And that's exactly what we get. Let's click on Brazil 1997, we get Brazil 1997. Let's 1998 to see if it works fine. And let's see if we can click on another country. Let's click on the UK, and we should get UK 1997. And that's exactly what we get. So here, this is what the hidden measures are really useful for. You can use them to do some calculations as the chart is being printed. Thanks for watching. In this episode, we have learned what are hidden measures and why they're useful, and how can one pass hidden measure values into the advanced properties. In our next video, we will talk about how to do drill down hyperlinks in a chart, and we'll wrap up the hyperlink topic entirely. See you then.